Burritos! Welcome back to another edition of Dance Mommy Vlog. And with me, as always, is Josie! Say hi, baby.
Hi, baby.
Say hi, Josie.
Hi, Daisy.
Mwah. Can you blow them kisses?
Mwah.
Oh, I love you, Josie. Mwah, I love you so much.
So much.
She's so awesome. Mwah. Yeah, if you follow me on Instagram or Twitter or by the way, I finally did do a page, a Facebook page, just for Dance Mommy Vlog. So, as I was saying, the magic of editing. This episode is going to be about one of my favorite things in the world, and that is Walt Disney World vacations. And planning. It's actually, I get asked a lot by my friends about helping them plan their Disney vacations, especially if they've never been. I've been 11 times since 2001. If you've watched my past videos, you'll know that Josie went for the first time this past September, and that was my first time ever taking a child. So that was a completely different experience than the other ones that I had had before. Oh, and by the way, I apologize. No makeup. I went ahead and cleansed, and moisturized my face because it's nighttime and I'm ready to go to sleep. Mommy's tired. Sorry. So, anyway, as I was saying, I love planning Disney vacations, and I get asked all the time about how I plan my vacations and any suggestions that I have. So you can see in the background here, I do love me some Disney. That's my bride ears, and on the other end is Charlie's groom ears, and then we have in front of his groom ears, he has a middle. We have Josie's first ears that we got in September. So cute. So, like I said, I love helping people plan their vacations and offering tips. So I'm going to make a video about that, and I hope that it helps people plan. Kind of giving away my tricks of the trade here. If I could actually parlay that into a career of some sort, I would love to do it, or at least like a part-time thing. I'd love to do that. But in the meantime, I love just helping my friends plan their Disney vacations, especially their first times, and sharing our experiences and our tips. So with that in mind, I'm going to share my Walt Disney planning trip tips. First of all, there's a lot of debate about whether to stay on property or stay off property. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I have never stayed off property. I have always stayed at a Disney resort. And I have zero desire to stay off of property. Yes, you can get a hotel room for cheaper somewhere else. But for me, the benefits of staying at a Disney resort outweigh any money that you save. And you really are not saving that much. And I'll tell you why. Think about the hotel cost itself. You have to, you have the cost of the hotel, but you're not taking into account that once you get here, how are you going to get from the airport to your hotel? You're going to rent a car. If you're flying in, you're going to rent a car, or you're going to take a cab. That can get really expensive. So And if you're flying in with Disney, they have this wonderful service called the Magical Express. And the Magical Express, when you book your Disney vacation with a Walt Disney Resort, you let them know either they can book your plane trips for you, or you do it yourself, and then you call them back with your reservation number and give them your flight numbers. So when you land in Orlando, you follow the little signs to Disney's Magical Express, and you get on the bus. And they have separate queue lines for different hotels. So you just follow the signs. You can hear her in the background. Follow the signs to Magical Express, and then once you get there, you get in you check in with them, get in your little queue line, the queue line for your hotel, and then they come pick you up in their bus. And the great thing about it is right away you're immersed in the Disney magic, because once you get on the bus and you get going, they start showing you a video with the Disney characters explaining to you about Magical Express. And what's awesome about Magical Express is you'll have your carry-on stuff with you, but any check bags that you have, and I definitely recommend doing a check bag and leaving it mostly empty. So if you get any souvenirs, you put them in the bag and they go with you when you leave. That's one tip right there. But your check bag, right before your trip, you will get your trip info, and included in it is your information for Disney Magical Express, and then it comes with the stickers that's got your name and your resort that you're staying in. And your bag later on will magically appear in your hotel room. It can take up to several hours. So anything that you need right away, here's another tip, anything that you need right away, carry it, put it in your carry-on.
Mommy.
Yes.
Hi, Mommy.
Hi.
Hi.
Say hi.
Hi.
Hey, what does Mickey say?
Hi. Dog.
Hot dog. What does Goofy say?
What does Daddy
Okay, what does Donald say?
say?
I can't do it as good as Daddy said. What does Goofy say?
Hey, gosh.
Roars.
What does Mimi say?
What does Minnie say?
Oh, Mickey.
Oh, Mickey.
What does Daisy say?
What does Daisy say?
Good.
Goody good. That's right. What does Pete say?
Hello, Mickey Mouse.
Hello there, Mickey the Mouse.
Hello, Mickey Mouse. What does?
What? What does a ghost say?
Boo.
Boo. What does a zombie say? Yeah. What does Neil Timmons say?
Chopper.
Kapla. That's right. Oh, trust me, for Neil Timmons, that's completely hilarious and absolutely adorable. All right, baby girl, mommy's filming a video. You want to go watch TV? Mwah. I love you. Okay, no one wants to see your belly. He said, unless I'm tickling it. All right, go in there. All right, go on in there. Okay. Thank you. I love you. Back to your original program. Magical Express. I think that's what I was talking about. As I was saying, anything that you actually have to have before your check bags arrive, keep them in your carry-on. But so you don't have to go to the little corral to get your check bags. It comes to your hotel automatically. So you're automatically immersed in the Disney magic. And on the way to the hotel, they show the video, and if there's any time left over, they show like classic Disney cartoons. So, and if you're driving, whether you're getting a rental car or you're driving your own car, you also have to think about the cost of parking. Parking can be very expensive, just like everything else at Disney. So paying just a little bit extra for a room and getting the transportation system with Disney, which includes buses, boats, monorail, and you don't have to do a thing. They will take you everywhere you need to go. This is just my personal opinion. I would not stay off property. That's just my thing. Park hoppers. I always do park hoppers. Not everyone does it. Everyone, you know, I guess because I'm not an Uber planner, I am a planner, and as you're getting ready to see. Yes, Josie.
Mommy.
Josie, can you go in there and watch TV, please?
Hi.
Mommy's talking. Yes, wait. Go play. Thank you. I am a planner, but I like to try to keep things loose, to be honest with you, because anything could happen when you get into the park. You could get into a park, and this actually happened on our last trip, our Animal Kingdom Day. We got in that park, and it was so freaking crowded. You couldn't even move, and it was not supposed to be a crowded day. And I just, I can't hang with that. So, it just wasn't. Yep. So I get a park hopper for the benefit of I may want to switch parks during the day, and that's happened a lot actually. Or say, although the Animal Kingdom's going to be opening later soon, when Rivers of Light is ready and they start doing the nighttime stuff, but say park closes at 5 or 7, but you're not ready to go anywhere, you're not ready to leave, you want to keep going, you can go and do fireworks at Magic Kingdom. Or you can go do illuminations. Josie, honey, take those in there, please. Well, you can keep it there. That's fine. Just be quiet. You can do that. That's fine. She loves puzzles. So anyway, I always do a park hopper. It's a personal choice. If you're an Uber planner and you're wanting to save money, and just do one park a day, go for it. I just like to have the flexibility of going into another park and not having to pay, $97 for one part of the day, $95 or $99, whatever, for another part on the same day. That's just me. So I always do the park hopper. Resorts. There are 4 tiers of resorts, and they're broken down by price. So the least expensive are the value resorts. Now the ones that I've stayed in is my first several trips was I stayed in a camper at the campsites at Fort Wilderness Campground. They also have cabins that are considered a moderate resort, which leads me into, and I've stayed at Pop Century, which is also a value resort. That one is great. It has great theming. Hi, Josie. I'm in the middle of talking, honey. Can you go, Josie? I need you to put your puzzle away, please.
No, I need to get it.
Well, put it together or put it away. Okay? Here, get out from underneath my chair. I don't want you to get squished. Pop Century is wonderfully themed. I stayed there 3 times, I think. And I've stayed in the 70s and the 50s. I think I got put in the 50s twice. But each one is remarkably themed. To me, it was just a little too crowded. There were a lot of people there. And to me, the buses didn't seem as frequent to pick you up and take you to the park or come and pick you up. So with that in mind, we decided our last two trips, we stayed at Port Orleans Riverside, and that leads into the moderate resorts. They're a little bit more expensive, but the detail is amazing. The pools, the pools anywhere are amazing on Disney property, but Port Orleans Riverside is beautiful. It was a lot quieter, and it's a huge. I'm not just talking about the size of the building. I'm just talking about the campus of it. It's just huge. Josie, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? Are you done with the puzzle? Well then, work on it or put it in the box, please. Okay. So, as I was saying, the moderates are great. They're a little bit more expensive, but you really do get what you pay for, and honestly, you get a lot more than you pay for at Disney. And that takes me into the next round, which is the deluxe resorts. And it's pretty much what it sounds like. It's the most expensive ones on property. And so this year we decided to bite the bullet and just so I can, make a fair comparison between the different types of resorts. We are going to stay at Wilderness Lodge. I'm very excited about that because I've been there and I've toured around it a little bit, and I've eaten at Whispering Canyon Cafe, and it is such a beautiful resort. It kind of looks like the Grand Teton Lodge. They have a geyser that goes up. Josie, what did I say? Put your puzzle away, please. Now. We're gonna try staying in a deluxe. I'm really looking forward to this. To me, they're grand in scale, and I think that's a lot of the big difference. I can't, until I've actually been in one of the rooms, I can't make a fair comparison between the size of the rooms but in the value, moderate, and that. I will say there was more than enough room in both the rooms I stayed in at Pop Century and Port Orleans Riverside. So, with that in mind, I'm very curious to see how it compares, how a deluxe compares. It's obviously a lot more expensive. So after the trip, I will let you know what my judgment call is on that. And then there's another tier that I haven't done. It's the deluxe villas, and I think those are mostly like Vacation Club, Disney Vacation Club members, and people who are traveling with larger groups. So they are the most expensive ones, but they also have a full kitchen. I think they have washer and dryer for your clothes. I think it kind of it's almost like a home away from home type thing. So I don't know. I think our friends the Jacksons and the Lupos need to go with us one time, and we can all get one of those and just go in on that and vacation together. Just saying. So anyway, so really it just depends on your budget. If you're wanting to keep it on the cheaper side, I've heard the value resorts being compared to, or being called the Motel 6 of Disney. I can tell you one thing, I've never seen a Motel 6 room that is as nice as what I stayed in at Pop Century. The room was huge and it was clean. Of course, everything at Disney is clean. So, but anyway, you can go with a more expensive resort and live it up, or go with the cheaper, or you can go with a moderate. You know, kind of have, to me, the way that I would describe a moderate is the best of both worlds. So that's your call. So how I plan my vacations. So what I do is, we kind of, Gooch and I discuss what time of year we want to go. I usually do not go during peak times, which is, mostly summer, because number one, Florida is balls hot. I mean, we went in September this past time and I felt like I was going to melt. Okay, just being honest. So yeah, I don't know if I could honestly take the heat in July or August. So I usually go October, usually like mid-October, November. I have gone during the first week. You kind of have to be careful with that because there's this phenomenon called Jersey Days where people in New Jersey, the schools close in Jersey for some reason. I don't know if it's like some sort of a teacher work day or whatever, but a lot of people from New Jersey, the first week, it's like that Thursday and Friday in November, go down to Disney, and it's super crowded. But anytime before Thanksgiving, the week of Thanksgiving is crazy. Thanksgiving Day is nuts, so I avoid that. And then the first couple of weeks in December, we're going the first week of December this year, and I've been there before, and it's really nice. You can still wear shorts, but and here's another recommendation for you. I recommend if you're going during cooler weather, like November, December, January, February, pack for both types of weather. Pack for what you think Florida weather is, and you're going to wear shorts and short sleeves. But I would definitely pack sweatshirts and jeans, because you never know. And I've been in February, like the first week in February before, and it was still really nice, and was able to wear shorts the whole time. So, but I've heard like it turned like cold on a dime. Like one day it's 75, and then the next day it doesn't get up to 50. It doesn't even get up to 50. So just be prepared if you go during these times. What? It is. It's Mickey. We'll go watch him. Okay. So those are the main times that I go. What I do, this is how we decide when we're going to go, like around the time frame, and then here's how I start to plan. I go on easywdw.com and look at their crowd calendar. Now, I usually plan between 9 months to a year in advance, and they don't post their crowd calendar until like, I think it's like 6 months out. So here's how I judge it, especially if I'm going down there for an event, like we're going to the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party this year. I look at the same time the previous year, like going in 2016, so I look at the same time of year in December 2015 and see what the crowd calendar was like then, and see what days in particular, days of the week that the party was on, and I kind of planned it around that. So, and then I plan which park I'm going to concentrate on each day, and then if they release it and it's like completely different, all I have to do is I have a spreadsheet that I'm getting ready, that I'll show you in a minute. Although it looks kind of weird here on the iPad, I just switch the days, whichever one we're going to do. So I plan on concentrating on one particular park a day, and I leave it loose to, to park hop or whatever. But getting that initial, I'm going to concentrate on like Hollywood Studios that day. I plan our dining for the day around that. And that's another thing, the dining plan. I highly, highly, highly recommend doing the Disney dining plan. Highly recommend it. You have to pay it up front, and it's not cheap. If you do the regular dining, it's, I want to say it's like between $60 and $70 per person per day. And then, but we always do the deluxe dining, and it's like $100 something per person per day. However, you're paying that up front, and you don't have to pay it when you're down there. So you're paying it up front, plus it is an amazing value. Okay? With the deluxe dining like we do, you get it covers 3 meals a day, and each meal covers, honey, I don't know where Coda is. Watch Mickey. It covers appetizer, your entree, and dessert, and soft drinks. Only thing you have to pay extra for is your gratuity and any alcoholic beverages that you get. So for deluxe dining, and that's 3 meals a day. Now, if you and the reason why we started upgrading to do the deluxe dining is because we wanted to get her character interaction. So she gets character interaction. We do character meals, so we don't have to stand in line to get Mickey or Minnie's autograph or whatever. And she gets that one-on-one time with them. And then we get sit-down meals a day. And honestly, for us, it can take away time from the park, but you're still in the park and you're still immersed in the Disney experience. But you're able to kind of slow things down. That was important for us to do with her, is slow things down. So, you can take a nice break, have a nice meal, and then go right back into the park. Now, how I plan it is when I figure out which park we're going to concentrate on a day, I plan my meals around that. And when I get into the thing, I'll show you the spreadsheet. I'll show you. I just think that just a little tiny bit of, and I said this in one of my dining reviews, a little bit of planning goes a long way. I'm not an Uber planner. I don't like everything planned to the minute like some people do. Now with the Fast Pass Plus, you still have flexibility with that because you have an hour in your time to arrive for your Fast Pass. So you're still able to kind of keep things loose and everything with that. But I'm not an Uber planner. As I've said, if something happens, I like to, I want to go to another park or go to Downtown Disney or Disney Springs. That way I can do that. And, but you do have to do some planning to go to Disney. If you want to have a good experience, you do have to plan. You cannot just arrive and go, Oh God, what do I do? What do I do? Oh, I want to go eat. What do you mean it's full? Because you have to get your dining plan. You have to get your dining reservations 180 days in advance. You just do, or you're gonna miss out. Because I've seen people and they go into a restaurant with a lobby full of people thinking they're gonna get in ahead of everybody else. And they get ticked off because they can't get into the restaurant. And it's like, well, duh, you can't get into the restaurant because everybody's got reservations. Come on. Okay. Soapbox off. Okay, so planning. Let me show you this bad boy. I keep the same format on my spreadsheet every year. Now let me see if I can make this. Can't really. It's not really visible. I'm all of a sudden red. Okay. Anyway, here's my spreadsheet, and here's what this is how I do it. So first of all, I figure out what dates we're going, and put those dates in the column. The next column is the park we're going to concentrate on. And then the next one is park hours. What hours the park is open that day. Restaurant reservation and times. So I've got that, and I'll give examples of that. Events and shows is the next column, and then any additional info. So I will give you an example. So on December the 2nd, we're going to be at Hollywood Studios, and so when I looked it up on extra magic hours, I think they're a great idea. It's offered to anyone who's staying on Disney property. They'll have, like, a certain park will have extra magic hours. And if you stay on property, you can either, whatever the park is, whichever park is offering extra magic hours, you can either get in an hour early or stay an hour later. I stay away from whatever park has extra magic hours because it tends to be the most crowded, because people automatically think, oh, I'm getting extra for my money, which, I mean, I guess technically you are, but that's the park that everyone tends to flock to that minute and that day, and it just, to try to cut down on crowds so that you can get as much in as possible, I tend to choose the least busiest, what is supposed to be the least busiest park of the day. Doesn't always work that way, like it did with the Animal Kingdom fiasco last year, but it all worked out in the end. So anyway, so for example, on the 2nd, Hollywood Studios is a recommended day. The park is open from 9 to 7. So for restaurants, and I plan the dining so that you're not running all over the place, because you don't want to, in the middle of the day, go have lunch if you're at Hollywood Studios at Animal Kingdom Lodge, or, somewhere that's completely out. I try to keep it within the vicinity and within or if I leave the park, it's at one of the resorts restaurant is at one of the resorts that is relatively close to the park I'm going to be in. Is how, I guess, the best way to say that. So, for example, on that day, we're going to be arriving that morning around 9 o'clock. So with the new Disney technology, with the magic bands and with Disney experience, with the My Disney experience, you can check in to your hotel 60 days prior to check-in, prior to your arrival. The last time we got a text when we landed saying our room was ready. We didn't have to go to check-in. We went straight to our hotel room, freshened up, and then headed to the park. And it was beautiful. It was so awesome. And all that technology is on the Magic Band. If you, I may link below the video that I made about Magic Bands before our trip last year. So anyway, we're just going to have breakfast like before we get on the plane, whatever. So when we get there, we're going to do lunch at 50's Primetime Cafe, which is in Disney Hollywood Studios. Then for dinner, we're going to go to Minnie's Holiday Dine, which is in, which is at Studios, which is the restaurant Hollywood and Vine. That's Character Mill. So, I'm kind of seeing where I'm going. Just keep the dinner reservations and the restaurant's fairly close to the park you're going to be in. And then events and shows, like they do the Character Palooza where the characters come out, Jedi Training Academy. I have the times for Fantasmic on here, and then the Star Wars fireworks. So I make sure we don't miss the Kisses Goodnight, or whatever special thing they've got going on. And then additional info I keep when I make my FastPass selection 60 days prior to 60 days prior to the trip. I'll put the times for the attractions that we get them in. And then just little notes I make to myself, like get on Magic Kingdom bus. I need to change that. Yeah, I'll change that. I'll factor in if we want to go back to the hotel and take a nap or, pool time or whatever. So let me give you a different scenario. Our first Magic Kingdom day. The park itself is open from 9 to 7, and then the party is from 7 until 12. Now, parties like that and the Not So Scary Halloween party is a separate ticketed item. So that's something else you would have to budget if you wanted to go to if you're going during October, end of September, during October for the Halloween party, and then end of November through December for the Christmas party. So I got us going to the party that night. So I've got a pre-rope drop breakfast plan for 1900 Park Fair. And since we're going to be at the Wilderness Lodge, we can just take a boat to Grand Floridian. And then after breakfast, take a boat to Magic Kingdom because it's right there. And then we're going to have lunch at Liberty Tree Tavern. And then we're going to try our best to get dinner reservations at Be Our Guest. But that's all within the park and all within the area of the park. So you kind of see where I'm going. And then I have the parade times, which not really going to be a parade except for the Christmas parade. But they're not doing the Wishes and Main Street Electrical Parade. I actually have that scheduled on another day where we'll go in at the end of the evening after we've been in another park, so we can see the fireworks and see Main Street Electrical Parade. So that's kind of how that works. So in my notes, along with when my fast passes are, I have take Magic Kingdom bus or boat, or I'm not sure whether or not they have like a boat between the Magic Kingdom resorts or not. That's something I need to research. If not, I can just get on the boat. We can just get on the boat or take an early bus And then if we take a bus, then we get on the monorail to the Grand Floridian or walk over to the Grand Floridian from Magic Kingdom for breakfast. And one thing I will suggest for dining, arrive 15 minutes early for your reservation. They'll either take you right away or they'll take you at your time. They may take you a little late depending on the kind of crowd they have. But get your reservation no matter what. But try to arrive 15 minutes ahead of time. So that's what this video is already super long, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut it off. I may if you have any other questions about how I plan my trips, comment below. Ask them. If you have any suggestions, post them below. And I know this is super long, and I'm really sorry, but I do love sharing my information and my experiences in planning our trips with you guys. And I think that's going to be it for right now. So comment, like, subscribe, and hey Josie, you want to come say bye-bye?
Bye-bye.
Well, come here. Come here. Come here, baby. All right.
Hi.
Hi. All right, can you tell them bye-bye?
Bye.
Can you blow them kisses?
No.
All right, guys.
Good night.
Yes, I love, peace, and rock. You say love?
Yeah.
Oh, I love you. I just made my night. All right, guys.
Good night.
Love my peeperinos. Good night.
Good night.